Today in Escape from Tarkov, we're going to sit in our hideout and go through our stash to make sure that it is as crisp and clean as it needs to be. Get our scav runs, we can make our money, and get back onto some PMC runs. So let's look at how I manage my inventory, because anybody that knows me knows that my inventory get to be extremely full, if not literally full, most of the time. So here's how I manage that. If you're somebody that likes to have a lot of attachments for guns, this is probably the most basic things that you could do to make a lot of space in your inventory really quickly. Obviously, the OP SKS is really popular, so we're just going to go ahead and collapse this sight down on top of the mount. And that brings us down to one slot right there. Obviously, here with the RIS, there's a lot of options for accessories to go onto this thing. So we're going to make it go from all of these tiles down just the two. And again, I could stash that off to the side, and now that is fairly set up if I need it for a gun. Another nifty feature here is on the left panel, you can sort by mods, right? So we're gonna hit mod, and now only gonna highlight these. Now I can hold control and click, and it'll go into the backpack that I have equipped. Now this makes life significantly easier because you can just kind of bust through this, scroll up and down, and just have an idea of what you have or what you don't have. Now the nice thing with the MBSS is you can run a couple of these, meaning I can open this one and throw it inside of itself, and that is stashed inside of that backpack. So I always have the option of having an extra backpack stacked inside of here. Another good option would be to grab like a pillbox, because the pillbox has more squares inside, more space than it takes up. Meaning you could then take like the MPPV rig, which takes up a 3x4 space, but gives you 24 slots. That is absolutely huge. And we can go ahead and throw one of these in there, then have room to throw a few more things, and so we can organize all of our stuff by what it is. These MPPVs for me are usually full of gun attachments, though they do get full of just garbage sometimes that I need to go through and manage a little bit better. So if you're somebody that doesn't have a ton of space, that's absolutely huge. Now another way that you could really help to organize this is, let's say we go back down here, drag these out of the way. With all of this open space on the top, that gives us a really unique opportunity here. Another point here is, if you're somebody like me that keeps their guns on the very bottom and all their empty space on the top, you can just hit page down, get to your guns, page up to get back to the top, and you can kind of go from there. It's way easier than scrolling this entire way and looking at all the stuff you don't really care about. But if you know you have your guns on the bottom and then you got some armors down here, you can just page down, grab your stuff, and get back into the fight. So what we can do is we can go back through all these MPBVs, but we're going to use the sorting table. So down here, we'll have a sorting table. Then we'll open up that pillbox again. Open that one up. I'm going to hold shift and click to throw all of this found in raid stuff in the sorting table. Anything that doesn't need to be there inside of these just get cleared out. So now that I have all of these on the sorting table, I can just close the sorting table and it throws anything that I want to sell up top. Obviously that is a huge factor for just saving time and not having to sort through a bunch of stuff. Staying organized is absolutely key in Tarkov and having more fun with the game versus just sitting in your inventory space. The other thing that I like to do, that's kind of a little bonus tip here, is you'll notice that my oat flakes are 1 out of 40. What I'll do is I will fill my energy and try to keep these short to about 39 if possible, so I have 1 extra, and then I can use that to make Slickers bars. Slickers bars can then be sold for scav vests for that scav vest quest, or you can sell them on the market for, what, 9k a pop. So that adds up really quickly and makes this cost almost nothing in that. You can do the same with water or AI2s as well, or cheese as we like to call it. You can use cheese like that, knock it down to 15 or so, and then use that in your crafts to make meds, to make even more money with costing you less. When it comes to finally placing these items on the fleet to get rid of them, this is what I do. So I'll hit add offer, hit auto select similar, hit whatever I want that I have multiple of, and it'll highlight both. It was ×2 here. While I'm on this screen, I'll right click, filter by item, and I will see what these things are selling for. As we see, these are not really selling, so these will likely go to Ragman. Go ahead and get those out of the way. But if there's only one, you see it only highlights 1 times 1, and right click, figure out what this is. Fit for 8,500, and that is listed. And just kind of keep going through the process. Once you get quick at this, it takes you no time at all to go through everything you need to sell and make your money back. I do this once a day. I'll end up going broke after running a bunch of PMC runs and trying to get tasks done, and then I'll run a few scav runs, and I'll just spend time doing this. Obviously, again, being efficient means you're spending more time playing and less time sitting in these menus. If you're somebody that insures their gear on a regular basis, don't worry about clearing it out of Proper's mail. What I mean here is we're going to Messenger, go to Receive All, and you see I have stuff here, but this only shows up after a few days. So if I go ahead and just click this stuff over, now I'll have all that space. But again, what I could do if I don't have a lot of space in my inventory is leave everything in Proper stash until I want it, pull it out a little bit at a time. If you're somebody that keeps their gear nice and organized, this really will help you guys out. So go ahead and hold Alt, click, and that will throw it onto your person. The same goes for if you are trying to do this in the field, is you can drop your helmet with delete. So over top of this, you'd hit delete. Obviously on here, it would destroy it, so I'm gonna hit no. But I have mine bound to X so that I can quickly just ditch my helmet, ditch my gear, pick up the better stuff by clicking Alt and click, and picking it up. So putting all of this together in one motion, let's kind of see how the workflow of this is. So what I'm going to do is take all of these magazines on the top of my stash and gun parts and throw them into an MPPV, and then stash that inside the pillbox to be just as space efficient as possible. So let's just do this. So I'm going to scroll down to the empty MPPV, hold Alt, click on that, hold Control, throw all that stuff in there. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this, drop that in there, and now I have all that space there as well, so I can go ahead and alt-click that, dash those 2 helmets, drop that back into place, and that's done. So a lot more time efficient to do it this way than any other way. When it comes to guns like the AKS-74U, you have the option of doing this. So go ahead and hit right-click and fold, and you see you clear up 2 spaces there. Now another option would be to unfold this. We're going to Mod. Remove the magazine, move the grip, and now it takes up only 1 space. So that is an option if you're trying to take up less space in your backpack. You just drop the grip, as the grips are super cheap to buy, drop the magazine, throw it in your backpack, and get on your way. From there you can go ahead and fold the AK down, or whatever you've got, and get on out and buy the cheap stuff that you need to make it operational again. But guys, if this video helped you guys out, give it a like. If you like me, give me a subscribe. If you guys have any more comments that you want to let people know about, comment down below and let them know. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you around.